Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and today we are back with another LEGO Dreamzzz review. This is Grimkeeper the Cage Monster. It is one of the many villains that the Nightmare King uses in his arsenal to trap the sleeping children. It is such a cool and menacing design, albeit a little, or maybe even a lot overpriced, and we'll talk a lot about that in the review itself. On the back, we have some rebuild options for the Z-Blob Flyer, which is really cool that LEGO Dreamzzz is emphasizing the creative nature of building, and of course, stay tuned for even more LEGO Dreamzzz reviews, because not only did we publish a mega review of every single set, but I also will be publishing individual reviews of each and every one of the brand new August Dream sets. And so, let's go on in and take a look. Alright, so this is set number 71455, Grimkeeper the Cage Monster. It comes with 274 pieces, but retails for $38 or 38 euros, which is a rather strange and high price for basically what you're getting in the set, which are 2 minifigures and a buildable character, as well as a small side build included. Before we get into the value though, I do want to talk a little bit about the LEGO Dream sets in terms of their instruction manuals. This is not something I normally cover in reviews, but I think it's really interesting how for LEGO Dreamzzz, they are actually telling a full-on story with the instruction manuals themselves, which encourages kids to actually have a story being told as they're building these sets, to really encourage imaginative play, which I think is really cool. As the instructions go on, you can see that there are different colored pages depending on whether you're building the heroes or the villains, and like all of the other LEGO Dream sets, you can actually choose whether or not you want to build one version or another for most of the hero builds, where you can have a flyer or some sort of a motorcycle. Ironically, I actually kind of like the motorcycle build a lot more than the flyer. It just feels more interesting to me having this hover bike type of build, but I am just going to showcase the standard/A build, which is the main build for the set, which is the glider right here. And you can see that as you finish building each and every one of the points, there's differently colored pages for each of the different types of builds, and there's a little bit of an illustration in terms of what you can do with the set to be able to play with it in different ways, which I just think is a really cool thing for LEGO Dreamzzz to do, and I kind of wish that more LEGO themes would do stuff like this. Moving forwards to the set though, we can take a quick look at the minifigures to start. Matteo here is in his standard configuration, but unfortunately does not come with a cape in this set. It seems like they are repainting the cape to be exclusive to some of the larger sets, which I guess makes sense, but he does have all the other accessories, including the brick-built pencil, dual molded legs, and the recolored LEGO Batman movie green belt piece, which you can see down on the legs right there. Matteo introduces a new hairpiece for LEGO Dreamzzz and does have an alternate face as well, which you can see right there. The other minifigure is the civilian version of Cooper, who is basically right now in prison within the cage monster, so let me go ahead and remove him from the cage. This is pretty interesting because it is just using kind of the standard style of Cooper minifigure, but it is different than the other ones we've gotten before, because here he's just a civilian and doesn't have his actual racing outfit yet, and he instead just has this kind of standard vest, as well as the plain dark blue pants. And I like how they actually included a civilian version of him, which just provides a different variation to get in the set itself. He does have an alternate facial expression, which is kind of a more determined look here, but it makes sense to have him be in the sleeping form as he is being captured for this particular build. Otherwise, there are no other minifigures or really anything else included in the set. Most of the parts go directly to making the cage monster, which you can see right here, but a small portion of parts do go into making this glider, which I think the coolest thing about it is that they have printed this dish piece with the Z-Blob eyes on it. I think that just looks really cute, but otherwise it is a really standard build. Not much I can say about it. I kind of feel like I wish it was more like the quadcopter in the show, which had a lot more detail to it. Here it just feels like a side build with extra budget that's kind of been thrown together utilizing some transparent green pieces. On the other hand though, the cage monster itself is actually a really cool and fun build, and I do actually really like the look and feel of it. I'm definitely very partial towards the villains of LEGO Dreamzzz. I think all the villains are very interesting in the way that they've been constructed, with the color scheme having hints of magenta, but mostly this black and gunmetal gray look with some highlights of spring yellowish green. And I really like how he's kind of holding this creepy looking lantern. It really just makes the character feel more interesting and mysterious. Now, LEGO has introduced a brand new joint element for LEGO Dreamzzz, which is this joint right here. It is a ratchet joint, but it allows you to have full friction rotation with the knees like so, and I kind of am really excited to see this appear in other LEGO sets because I feel like it's a really useful piece to get. You actually do get a lot of articulation out of just being able to rotate the macaroni pieces, and overall, so far in every set that's been used, from the crocodile car to the Z-Blob robot to this, I think it's been used really well because you can actually get a lot more articulation out of it than even just a standard type of click joint. So I think it's a cool evolution towards what LEGO's been doing with these types of joints. You can actually get a ton of interesting poses out of this creature just because of the way the joints are set up, and overall, I definitely like it when LEGO sets, especially LEGO large mech style builds, are posable but also look good, and that I can definitely say is the case for this. Now, the cage monster itself has some articulation for the head. You can see that the head can move back and forth. It is using a recolored Bionicle Hero Factory CCBS shoulder element right here, which is specially done with a print for the eyes there, which also does appear in the Fantastical Treehouse for the smaller version of this particular build. And it also comes with two brand new horn elements. These are similar to the LEGO Monkey Tail piece that they made for Creator back around 2003, but much smaller and just an interesting piece that can be used for animal tails, for horns, or even for foliage in a fantastical environment. The back of the creature is honestly not super interesting. It is really just plain and flat. I like the inclusion of these bar details on the sides of it to really make the ribcage feel like a, well, cage itself, and you can also articulate each and every one of the fingers to really be able to pluck sleeping children out from the ground, which is a really interesting play feature to have for this particular build. And overall, I actually really like this. It kind of reminds me of some Bionicle type of aesthetic, similar to Karzani and stuff like that, so I actually really like the overall look and feel of this particular character. The only issue is that, for whatever reason, it's $38, which is so weird to me. It has 274 pieces, and there aren't really that many large pieces or specialized pieces either, and it really feels like this is supposed to be closer to $25 at most. I can maybe see 30? 30 is even a stretch. It only has 274 pieces after all, but okay, 30. But 38? This really smells like LEGO price increases to me, especially because they increased the price of a lot of their sets just this year and last year. 38 is not normally a price that LEGO designers design to, so if I had to guess, and this is just pure conjecture here, it feels like this was designed at maybe the $35 price point. I mean, 35 is even stretching it. It feels like it was designed for 30. But they decided to add a few extra dollars to just make it 38 to make it a little bit more expensive, which I feel has overall hurt the set because it is a pretty cool build. There's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it to pose it around and really get it in all sorts of different menacing poses. I like the aesthetics of it overall and is a great addition to the villain forces. But 38 is just way too much for me and for, I would imagine, a lot of people. So, I'm sorry I have to end the review on this type of note. I definitely wish it was better priced. I love it when LEGO does villain-focused sets in original themes because we don't get that many nowadays. I just kind of wish that instead this was a little bit cheaper or even just had more stuff to it. If they had another minifigure in it or some other characters, something to make it feel more worth it. But right now, $38 feels like this is the most overpriced LEGO Dream set yet, and that's all I have to say. Alright, and with that we have summed up our look at Grimkeeper the Cage Monster. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of the set? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? And what do you think of the price? Do you think it's fair or do you think it's a little bit overpriced like I did? Of course, thank you all so much for tuning into DuckBricks. Be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming away very soon, and bye for now.